Hello, I've decided to self-publish some essays, some poetry on some themes that keep me awake at night. These just had to be written down lest I'm kept awake all night, so they're free to read. And it's divided into themes: predators, sex, politics, and humanity. There's an arching theme, which is indoctrination. We're indoctrinated by media over a lifetime, many lifetimes. We're indoctrinated into religions, mostly from birth. Religions that indoctrinate homophobia, to hate. Yes, there are children in Christian churches in the Bible Belt and beyond who right now are being indoctrinated to hate trans people, LGBT, or just anything queer, anything that doesn't fit a religious binary definition. To hate them, or at very least, to disrespect those people and those experiences. They'll be adults in a few decades, and there is no great movement to de-indoctrinate them. It continues. There are families where children are being indoctrinated to believe that there is an entitled man of the house, and is thus given the right to supersede all opinions, to keep girls from accessing education. I myself was indoctrinated as a young man to believe that black people were mostly criminals and dangerous, people to be wary of. Television and cinema and history books and school curriculums and statues taught me that, indoctrinated me so. Took some undoing. Women in abusive relationships all over the world and throughout history have been indoctrinated to believe that if they exit the situation, the man will fare better, justice will not be done. Women globally have been indoctrinated to believe that their sexual desires are shameful, unlike their male counterparts who are congratulated on sexual prowess. Boys are still indoctrinated to think that women who speak up or become passionate about their own rights and feelings are just hysterical and emotional. Boys and men are being indoctrinated to believe that their own vulnerability is a weakness, that emotions are effeminate and by default, lesser, weaker, sissy. We're indoctrinated to believe pink is for girls, blue is for boys, dolls are for girls, trucks are for boys, that sex is binary, that gender is binary and not gorgeously fluid and organic. The most respected and adored head of state, the Queen of England, was indoctrinated, groomed in fact, at age 13, groomed that God himself gave her right to be sovereign over other people. And most of the country and governments just took that for granted. Indoctrinated to ignore the absurdity of that. No disrespect to the woman, I'm a long-time fan and I adore history and culture as well as her contribution. But just to accept blindly that inherited divine sovereignty, that is absurd and that is a national indoctrination. Imagine the swathes of USA where kids are being indoctrinated into white supremacy from birth. It's really hard to de-indoctrinate people who've been groomed for that long. School systems indoctrinate children into cultural constructs formed through centuries of fear and conformity. They're taught none of the fluidity or gorgeous vulnerability of all of that stuff I've been talking about. Close to my heart, we're indoctrinated to believe that addiction and self-harm is a weakness, a blight, a moral failing, a self-indulgence. In my own country, England, addiction has even been mostly annexed from the National Health Service, somehow less of a health issue, just some crime to be tidied up. We believe in nonsense. We believe in nonsense. Attempts to broaden minds and engender kindness towards diversity is causing ruptures in the very social fabric that is our communities. This is what keeps me awake at night. And the essays and poetry that you'll read in this book are born of those fretful nights and my passion for diversity and awareness and kindness and change. And you'll see the link below to read this book. Please do.